so sad.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
To
Avicii.
the very, very young DJ Avicii. I
He
loved
really
this
was.
song. This is my jam.
He was so good.
That's fine by me. Wake me up when it's all over. Okay, I'm not gonna torture our listeners.
Guys, Avicii has officially passed away today at 28. Way too young.
28 years
way
old.
too young.
Like, I can't even imagine living the life that he was able to live in such a short period of time. To be as successful as he became.
And how fast he was able to do it.
Not only was he able to, I believe he has like 6 million followers on Instagram, and he was ranked on the Forbes list for the 6th highest paid DJ in the world.
Crazy. At
28 years old.
What was he making a year?
18 million.
Yeah.
It really makes me contemplate what I'm doing with my life, because he was younger than me.
No, but at the end of the day, I mean, there's no specific age for success, but think about it. 18, 19 million a year, 6th highest paid DJ. He wrote for Madonna, Coldplay. I mean, he started his career at 21. Mm-hmm. He was at the peak of his career, and yet what? I mean, does that still not buy you happiness?
Well, so I guess the elephant in the room is what may have caused a 28-year-old who was on top of the world to pass. So, I mean, there hasn't been an official statement yet.
Right.
The publicist or the PR person that discovered that he was dead, they just pretty much released a very vague statement saying that, he was found, and they wanted you to respect his privacy.
So they're not going into detail at all as to what it was.
They're not going into detail, so we don't technically know what the reason is. However, with his history, I don't know if you follow Avicii or those that are listening, but basically he, at the age of 26, decided that he wasn't going to tour anymore because...
She was like semi-retired by 26. That's crazy.
Basically, yeah. He wasn't doing international touring because it was just... the lifestyle was too hard for him. He was having... I believe he was diagnosed with acute pancreatitis. So...
Okay, I'm gonna
it was
stop
from
you right
excessive
there.
drinking.
Lifestyle, like Avicii's lifestyle. Think about it. At that young mentality, making that much money... How hard was this guy partying for his pancreas to go bad?
I mean, shit. I'll be honest. I don't like house music. I don't like EDM. The only way that I could stand it is if I'm just shit-faced.
Drunk?
I have to be shit-faced drunk.
Really?
I have to be. I can't take it. It'll give me a headache if I'm sober. Yeah, it's just... Oh, it's just not for me. And, I mean, I don't even think that it's for the rest of the world either, because the rest of the world is on Molly or some other shit.
Right, you have to be in a certain state of mind to be appreciating it. I mean, I love it. I've been to Ultra almost every year since it started.
Are you on drugs?
But, I'm high on life, babe. I'm high
on life. Okay.
All right. No, but you're right. Like, the state of mind to be in just to appreciate and to listen to it as a spectator. Imagine being the creator of it.
Right. In the DJ booth.
In the DJ booth.
To hear that
having to create that what's the word that I'm looking for? That environment and that experience for hundreds of thousands of people. Right,
exactly. I mean, but granted, Avicii was one of the DJs that I could actually stand his music because it had lyrics.
Yeah, you know the song.
It had music. Yeah, it had words to it. So I'm okay with that. It's more of the EDM that's like that I can't stand. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that his music was actually something that I could listen to and jam to on the radio. So, it's just very unfortunate, this story. I mean, I obviously have an idea that drugs probably had something to do with his passing.
I mean, we know that of his lifestyle before, like you're saying they don't want to come out with it now. But honestly, like, I put myself in his shoes, or I'll try, because I don't make $19 million a year, and I'm not 28. But
one day.
Someday. Very soon. But thinking about it, putting myself in his shoes and then applying my own life, it's like, I don't even go to those extremes. you know? So
Right.
it's like, what really buys happiness? I mean, to have to turn to drugs and have to turn to that state of mind, to have to be so numb, in which you would think someone like that has everything.
Right. Well, I do have a lot of experience working with people with addictions. I spent 2 years of straight out of college. I was a therapist
That's right.
at a rehab, so I know a lot about addiction and how it works with your brain. The problem is not so much. Oh, well, okay, you have everything in the world, so why would you turn to drugs? What it really is that you probably go to drugs not knowing that it's going to catch you. But drugs are addicting because what it does is it restructures your brain to the point where you're relying on it.
So it's not that you have an addictive personality, it just kind of creeps up on you?
I mean, sometimes the addictive personality, sure, that can, and my theory on addictive personality is that's somebody that needs an outlet to escape from something.
Some kind of trauma or some type of unhappiness.
Something. I mean, unhappiness, basically, because unhappiness is in the eye of the beholder. So it could be anybody. It could be anything. But, they're just not happy with their lifestyle, their day-to-day, and they just want to get away from it. So that causes addiction. Mm-hmm. Because it's kind of like an outlet outside of. And mind you, everyone has a vice. Your vice might be food. You find comfort in food or whatever, so that's just something that you go to. But there's two different kinds of addictions. There's, physical, so it's kind of like you're dependent.
Okay.
And then,
I didn't even think about that as an addiction, but okay.
Yeah, so the physical dependence is tricky because if you don't have it, you're addicted to coffee.
I might be.
You are. You're 100% addicted to coffee.
Because my body has withdrawals when I'm not on coffee.
Exactly.
And I'll try to be like, okay, I'm gonna go a day without it, and then I'll get headaches.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's wrong with me? And
right.
It's like, you're
right. Absolutely 100% addicted to coffee, and that's why I said everybody has something that they're addicted to, and you just don't even know it.
Right.
But yours isn't as severe because now. The definition of addiction can also be something that causes adverse consequences, yet you still do it. So
in this case, it'd be drugs or drinking heavily.
Right, because coffee is not really going to cause you adverse consequences unless you drank an excessive amount and maybe you gained weight or whatever. But drugs is different, especially alcohol. The thing about alcohol, and a lot of people don't even know that alcohol is probably the worst addiction.
Really?
Yeah, because the thing is, okay, let's say that you're hooked on some kind of drug.
But at what point is it abusive and addicting?
Well, okay, so let's say that you're addicted to a drug, right?
Okay.
You have to go to a rehab to withdraw off of it, or a detox center.
Okay. To eliminate it completely.
To eliminate it from your body safely. Because remember, I told you, your body begins to rely on it. And we could really get into the scientific, but I'll just, make a long story short. Your body starts to produce less of its neurotransmitters because drugs are kind of taking the form of what your body would naturally produce. So your body's like, oh, well, it's producing what I need, so I can turn off.
So I can lay back and chill.
Yeah, I can chill. Whatever you're giving me is working, so I'm cool. Oh. So if eventually your body kind of shuts off on what it is normally supposed to do, so the drugs take the place, and then if you stop giving the body the drugs, then that's the withdrawal. Because now nothing's producing what you need.
Got it.
So it's wait a second, what is going on?
So then that's where you're feeling the lack. The body's not doing it. You're not giving it. So it's feeling empty.
Yeah, and it's going to take the body a little bit of time to start regenerating and going back to normal functions.
So that's what they call being clean. I'm clean now. My body's taken out all of the drug or all of the addiction.
That's detoxing. Being clean is not having anything.
Right.
In your system.
Once you've passed that. So now your body's creating whatever it is on its own and you're not dependent of it.
Yeah. I could say I'm clean because I don't do drugs.
That's crazy to have an addiction at so young, though, and be so successful. Yeah. Avicii, may you rest in peace because you were amazing and you were an amazing addition to the music in this country and the world, really, because he was Swedish. So he was a Swedish DJ.
Right. But, so I don't know this instance exactly what happened, But I do know that he had a drinking problem. And like I was saying earlier, that drinking is worse because, okay, you could withdraw from a drug and go to rehab and whatever and avoid it.
Okay.
Because it's not really the easiest thing in the world. I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. But it's not the easiest thing to be in the presence of drugs. Like, you're not going to just walk in a grocery store
they're not like
and see
everywhere
drugs.
to be.
But alcohol is everywhere.
Right.
So it's very hard to avoid it, and that's what makes it really difficult.
So it's the access that makes the difference.
It's the access.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because, you know, as an addict, you have something called triggers. Mm-hmm. And that triggers your addiction. It starts to make your brain starts remembering and the nostalgia of, oh, that feeling, so it triggers that addiction. And I mean, you go to a bar and you see the bartender automatically.
It's just so easy. And then they entice it with sugars and the experience of going to get a drink.
Right.
And the social experience of it. And the fanciness.
And imagine being a DJ in the clubs.
Where drugs are so accessible.
Right. So he had to quit in 2016. But I don't know what happened this trip. I know he was on a vacation visiting friends, and they ended up just finding him dead. So Lord knows what happened to him. But may he rest in peace. It's a very, very sad story. I have a lot of, sympathy, empathy for people that suffer from addictions because of my experience of working with people very closely.
That's just super crazy. I've been on Percocet for about a week now.
Oh, God.
Not to change the subject, but I've been on Percocet for about a week now. As you guys know, if you follow me on social media, I sprained my ankle really, really bad running at the track. And it's crazy because when my friends text me and they're like, hey, how are you feeling? I'm like, oh, the pain's bearable because of the perks. That's the number one thing everyone tells me. Oh, don't get hooked. Don't get hooked.
Yeah.
They're so scared of me getting hooked.
Right.
I think you text me that too. You're like, no, take it easy.
I mean, listen, Percocets leads to heroin.
Really? So it's like a gateway drug?
Girl, it's an opiate. So they're in the same family.
Oh,
so you're pretty much taking the legal version of heroin
and stuff.
Yeah, it's heroin.
Yeah,
I mean opium.
I mean, I don't think I'm addicted.
Not yet.
Stop.
Hopefully not. But I mean, they really regulate, pain meds nowadays. Like,
right.
If you have a doctor that's following the law.
Right.
If you have a major surgery, they're not going to give you excess, and they're not going to refill it. You're just like, okay, take a Tylenol now. That's it.
Right.
But people get hooked to Tylenol.
So that's why they
aspirin,
control
all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, it's an epidemic. Have you been
living
under a rock?
I've always felt that I don't have an addictive personality, just because I've obviously tried drugs. I'm not going to say I haven't, but I've never been addicted to them. But maybe it's that. Maybe I never gave them the chance to be. Because
I said, you're already addicted to coffee.
Right. Right.
As soon as I walked in here, hey, Kristen, do you want some coffee? I'm like,
black.
No.
You're like, what's that? Espresso.
Double. She was like, no, if I don't have my coffee, I'm not going to be normal.
Withdrawals.
It's like, oh, okay. But I can't even say, because I don't drink coffee. I don't, I won't touch it.
What would your vice be, Kristen?
Jamba Juice.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with Jamba Juice.
You were so hooked on Jamba Juice. I remember one time we were going to go eat and you're like, yeah, I'm fine with Jamba Juice. I'm like, what's that, dinner?
Yeah, girl, and listen, the extent of, and they should endorse me right now for this plug, but I will drive 25 minutes just to get a Jamba Juice.
What's your favorite flavor?
Aloha pineapple. I take out the Greek yogurt and I put pineapple sherbet, and I take out the bananas and I put pineapples. Thank me later.
So you're a pineapple girl.
I'm a pineapple girl.
You know what they say about pineapple, right?
Tastes sweet.
You know what it says that if you eat a lot of pineapple, what it does to you? Have you guys heard? Well, they say that if you eat a lot of pineapple, you start to taste like it.
Right. You are what you eat.
You are what you eat.
I'd rather taste like pineapple than coffee. Ooh.
Ew, thanks. I do not taste like coffee, by the way. Ask anyone.
I think we're going to have to survey some of your past partners and be like, what does she taste like?
What does Mel taste like? We'll put it on a
like
poll.
Coffee.
And we'll ask.
Does she get you high off caffeine? Oh my god, I think on that note, we're gonna change the subject. Because that was
Moving
just
on.
gross.
Moving
Assorted
on.
Flavors, guys. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back. I am Kristen Live, and I am here with my lovely co-host,
Miss Melissa Alvarez. Thanks guys for tuning in. We get all of your DMs and your love. I'm so happy that you guys have been listening. I know that some of you listen to us on your car ride home, so that's pretty dope.
Pretty dope. We've been singing for you guys a lot. You know what I discovered is, okay, so I have this mic that we do the podcast with. Mm-hmm. For the people that are listening, they can't see the mic. Actually, one of our podcasts is on YouTube, so they can see it. But anyways,
Dope.
I have this mic, and I was just kind of like listening to one of our old podcasts so that I was going to post it. And I was like, ooh, I kind of have a good singing voice on here.
Hey, you do. You have like this sultry, deep voice. I think we're going to have her sing next time,
I think
guys.
it's the mic. I was just singing.
No,
I was
it's
singing
your
Wake Me Up by
voice.
Avicii.
Okay, we'll try a different mic next time and see if
But
it
I was
changes
kind of
your
like,
voice.
I wasn't even trying. I was like, wake me up when it's...
Talking about voices. Cardi B, Nicki Minaj.
Girl.
What's going on with that?
Okay, that's the question. Are you Team Nicki or Team Cardi?
I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard one because I feel bad for Nicki. So
Why?
I mean, I feel bad for Nicki
Explain,
because of
elaborate.
the way that she feels. I feel so bad because she's so one-sided, and then at the same time she's like screaming for attention. I feel bad for people that scream for attention because obviously like they're feeling a certain type of way, and it sucks that they feel that because
You
know,
feel like the Nicki Minaj, who has gotten, I mean, credit for being the only female MC for a certain amount of years ever since she came out, is looking for attention.
Yeah, she's looking for attention and appreciation from Cardi B. I don't know if you want to play that track that you found in that interview. But, you know, like we were talking earlier, and that was one of the topics that we had brought up for this podcast. It's like, at what point does, you know, imitation, is it a form of flattery or is it a compliment? And at what point is it homage, paying homage, or competition?
So are you saying that Cardi B is imitating Nicki Minaj?
No, I'm not saying that Cardi B's imitating Nicki Minaj. I feel like Nicki Minaj is crying
Is feeling
for
like that.
is crying for some kind of homage from Cardi B just because Nicki feels some kind of hierarchy or superiority because she was in the game first, she was bigger first, you know, but she's just crying for this attention, and I feel like she
So basically, Nicki Minaj is upset that Cardi B is not kissing her ass.
yeah, basically.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
so we'll play the interview. This is what got Melissa feeling sorry for her.
With Cardi that really hurt my feelings.
Yep.
Was the first interview she did after Motorsport came out. I remember,
I'm just gonna
like,
fast
when I
forward
first
it a
came
little
in here,
bit because she's crying.
like it's because I'm doing it to be mean, you know, with the current Nicki hate train, and he wasn't able to come, you know, he had something to do, and that's fine. So I had to shoot on another day. They all knew that, especially if you're using my hairdresser now. He can attest to that, and you still did interviews, and y'all all still jumped around that.
Yeah,
And
so
just to paint
basically
Nicki
she
as the
talks
bad
about how
person.
because of her hair, right? Totally crying on that.
Somebody call the ambulance.
It's crazy. Like, you're a boss, you're a rapper. Like, why are you crying? I mean, I feel bad for her, but I'm not. In this situation, I have to say I'm Team Cardi all the way.
Let me tell you something. Nicki Minaj is an actress. I don't know if you know this.
Right.
But she really is an actress.
Yeah, she did a movie.
She's
She did a
theatrical. So those tears in that interview
Alligator tears.
are
Chomp chomp.
staged. They're super staged. I mean,
She's talking about the Nicki
she's-
hate train.
Nicki Minaj
Victimizing
is,
herself.
She is an entertainer,
Right.
to say the least, you know. So I think that I don't think that she's screaming for attention. She has attention. It's just, you know, she wants to be the only person
Right.
with attention, and that's where the issue comes. So you got the younger female MC coming up and
Creeping up behind you.
Cardi B, she's a threat. I'm not even gonna say, you know, but I mean, there's I think that we're in an era where there's so much female empowerment movements going around.
Yeah.
That it's kind of like Nicki needs to get over it and hop on board. If you can't beat them, join them.
Embrace
kind of
it,
thing.
right.
Yeah, and embrace it. Embrace Cardi as, okay, yeah, she's funny. Like she's a different style of female MC. She's not even like Nicki.
But it's funny because she did the same thing
with Lil' Kim.
Right. In a photo shoot.
Well, okay, so Nicki Minaj, I think, I can't even really go back to the origin of the beef between Nicki Minaj and Lil' Kim, but I do believe it was very similar in which Lil' Kim felt like Nicki Minaj was supposed to pay homage to her, and Nicki came off kind of snooty.
Right, and she's the first one to say, hey, Cardi, she says it in the interview, I felt hurt. I'm actually hurt.
Right.
Because she didn't pay homage to me.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, Cardi didn't shade her. It's just, Cardi's just doing her thing.
Cardi's just doing Cardi.
Yeah, and she doesn't need to be.
I mean, I think that Cardi is in her feelings, or she was in her feelings about the verse. I don't think that the verse was a diss. I mean, I don't know Nicki Minaj personally, but it didn't seem like the original verse was, if Cardi the QB, I'm like Nick Lombardi. She ended up having to take that out because Cardi had a problem with it, and she put Quavo's name in it. So obviously, if Quavo was okay with it, then it's not a diss.
Right.
But I think that Cardi is new to this industry, and she's now figuring out that a lot of people are two-faced.
Right.
And she's herself. Like, that's the thing about Cardi.
She's so real, and
she's
that's the
so
thing
real.
that people are taking her as a threat because she's coming in hot.
If she feels any sense of fakeness, she's going to call it how she sees it. Like, okay, wait, you seem fake. Like, I'm not fucking with you.
Right.
So I think that Nicki Minaj, in her fakeness, was kind of something that Cardi felt.
Right.
And she didn't like it. So, I mean, she's not trying to be friends.
Right.
And
she's not trying to kiss her ass.
Right. And at the end of the day, I feel like Nicki's kind of exposing herself that Cardi was right. Because look at what she's doing.
Right.
It's like at the end of that interview, she was kind of like, a lot of females would have wished that they could have done a song with Nicki.
Exactly.
And then she was like,
she's putting herself on a pedestal, and it's just like no one's gonna be kissing your ass,
right? Exactly. So I mean,
I don't know. Have you had that one friend though that like just copies everything you do? Have you ever had that one friend? I had that one friend, and I didn't mind it when it's like. When they're on your team, because I felt flattered, she would copy everything I would say, wear, do, not do, but then it comes to the point that it's like she tries to do it in a way that she's trying to compete with you, and it's just like, hey,
without giving you props.
Right, like be honest about it. Be like, listen, I love that, and I'm totally copying it. Be real about it. And I think
this is the thing. Like, if you call her out on it, then you're coming off like you're arrogant.
Right.
Like, you didn't create this outfit. Everybody's wearing this.
Right.
What makes you think that I'm copying you?
Right. What gives you the entitlement that I owe you?
Right. And that's where I have a kind of a problem with it, because I think that all trends are recycled.
Absolutely. Since the beginning of time, everything's been done. It's just recreated.
Anymore, so I can't take ownership of certain styles of things that I even do, so if somebody copies something that I do, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt,
right? Just
because I probably copied it from someone else too.
Oh, you're so honest. That's so cute.
That's where I'll sit back with.
Well, but there's a big difference between you putting your spin on it to someone literally copying it to the T.
To the T.
It's like, at what point it's like, okay, it's just, come on, like.
I feel like this is personal, and there's probably like a backstory to this, because I mean, like, when you say to the T, I mean, did they change their name to Miss Melissa Alvarez 1 on Instagram?
Almost. But hey, I should be flattered nonetheless. I should be flattered. So.
I mean, it depends. I mean, if they steal your shit, here's when it becomes a problem, right? If they steal your shit and they do better with your shit than you did, then you're like, fuck.
Right, that's when you start feeling it.
Better me than me.
Right.
But I mean, like, that's when you gotta be on your shit. That's your fault.
Right.
You allowed someone to, because I've always said this, that
They reinvented your wheel in a better way.
Right. I've always said this. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be a millionaire one day. And this is exactly how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take somebody's idea and I'm just going to add one extra spin on it.
Oh, there's a classic
That's what everybody
book.
does.
The classic book is what is it called? How to be an artist. How to steal like an artist. I have it right there in my bedroom. I haven't read it yet.
Art is a lot harder to like.
Well, it means like mastering it as an artist,
Right,
not actual
yeah.
art, but mastering the art of stealing somebody else's wave and then recreating it and making your flow so much better.
Like I feel like Instagram is a good example of that. Instagram is such a bully.
Oh yeah.
Like they've literally stolen everybody's ideas and
Yeah.
just kind of made it better because
Off
their
of
platform.
shoots and
Yeah, like Snapchat,
right,
Vine.
right.
Like literally they
Filters.
shut everybody down because they took the idea of somebody else and incorporated it into whatever they already had going.
Well, let's face it, Instagram is the baby of MySpace. I mean, come on. But hey, there's always going to be someone that, started it first.
Yeah. So I guess the key is whatever craft you have, make sure that
You're top of your game.
You're always reinventing your wheel more so that they can't even keep up. Because the minute you get stagnant, somebody's going to steal your shit.
Right. And don't cry to like Nikki when they don't pay you homage. Poor Nikki.
Poor Nikki. Moving on to something interesting. Okay, so I did a poll. You know me, I'm always doing my polls.
Poll on Kristen Live. If you guys aren't
And-
following her yet, get on it.
Get on it. So my poll was inspired
Okay.
by Touré Hart. Touré Hart is the ex-wife of Kevin Hart,
Right.
who she was left in the dust for Mrs.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who's his?
Side piece.
Who's his wife? No, she wasn't a side piece.
Who?
I mean, maybe she was. I don't know.
At first.
Well, yeah, they did say that. They
Right.
did say that they were messing around while he was still with
married,
her.
yeah.
Okay, so what's her name?
Look it up on there.
It's not Carucci. What? For some reason, I'm thinking Carucci.
No.
She kind of looks like Carucci, no?
She's a pretty girl, though.
She's pretty. Well, whatever. Kevin Hart's new wife. His rib.
His new rib.
Okay, so Touré Hart is the original wife.
Right.
And she did an interview, and I just found it very interesting. So I'm just going to play it, and then we'll talk about thoughts after.
No, we'll talk about your poll.
And I've never even said this out loud or publicly, but I kind of like the Muslim faith. I think, if you can afford her, then you should have another wife or have extra. I just think people should be more upfront. If you're going to do it, men need to start just being men and say, look, this is what I'm going to do. Okay? Either you're going to deal with it or you're not. And I think most women will probably deal with it. But you men just got to be more upfront. And here's the thing about me. I appreciate a good side bitch. Okay? Because
Wow.
there's days I don't feel like doing it. Let that
I
side bitch
appreciate a
do that
good
job.
side bitch.
There's days I don't feel like sucking dick. There's days I don't feel like cooking and cleaning. Have the side bitch do that job.
Damn.
Well, I could never be the side.
Damn.
Ooh, okay.
Did she say there's some days when I don't feel like sucking?
She said, some days I don't feel like sucking dick. And I'm just going to let her do it. Because shit, I'm tired. I'm motherfucking tired.
Oh, wow.
She was straight up about it.
Sounds like she's not enjoying that then. I mean, when it comes to like,
I mean,
it's
her
a job,
ex-husband was Kevin Hart.
right? But I mean, you should enjoy. I mean, you should enjoy doing that with your partner. But when it comes
He's really
to,
little.
Is
What do
he
you
small?
think? He's
How do you know?
short.
You don't know what he's packing.
I mean, I don't
Or
know what
do
he's
you?
packing.
Who
Hell
knows?
no. But I mean, I would imagine that it would be comedic,
Right.
but not sexy.
So what was your poll? Let's read your poll. And
So-
what was your poll results?
So she inspired me to ask this question because I'm like, okay, you know what? Because when I first heard about the news of Touré Hart, I find it ironic that, she portrayed herself to be like very upset that her man got stolen, basically. by
Right,
the
she was
side
hurt,
chick.
right.
She was hurt, and she played so much of the victim. And then now it seems like she kind of changed, she's shifting her personality to, I'm okay with the side chick as long as he's upfront about it.
Do you think
So
it's because
basically,
she was
like,
left alone that she's coming out to be like, well, I'm okay to share?
I'll tolerate it.
Right.
I'll tolerate it if that lets me get a man, like...
Right.
So I feel like she's kind of adjusting to her experience of not being able
Well,
to
maybe
keep
because she's
someone.
alone now. So she's like, well, instead of being alone, I should just have jumped on the bandwagon. Which is not cool, but you know what? A lot of women do that, though.
I think so. So that was my theory. I believe that society is causing a lot of women to now be tolerant to bullshit or to a lifestyle that is not necessarily
To their
normal.
standards.
Or to their standards.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I'll consider it just because I want to be able to get a man and I want to be able to
Right.
keep him, especially a successful man.
This is an African American woman talking about Muslim relationships and the Muslim religion, and she's agreeing with the only Muslim thing is that she's willing to share her men with other women as long as
As long as she's the main.
As long as she's the main, but she quotes, if you can afford it.
Right. Exactly. Because if you can't afford it and now you're using all your resources for the side chick.
Right. But then to me that doesn't sound like a relationship. At that point it's a means to an end, and it's a compromise. It's a business for her. You know, if he can afford her, she'll be his main and let him do whatever he wants. Because a lot of women are okay with that nowadays, though.
So the question was, would you be okay with your partner sleeping with other people if they were upfront with it?
And your results?
The
Dun, dun,
results
dun.
is 27% said yes.
27% of your followers, of which majority are
actually male.
men, said that they'd be okay with their partner, and I mean, I don't know how many gays follow you, but let's say the majority of them are straight.
I doubt a lot of gays follow me.
Right. But the majority...
Maybe gay women.
Maybe gay women.
Hey.
All that fast.
Hey.
All that fast in there. They'd be okay with sharing their partner, as long as they knew about it.
As long as they knew about it. Okay, so now here's my take on it.
What about those that are like, I don't want to know? I don't want to know.
You got to sing it into the microphone. It sounds better.
Keep it on the low.
Hey! You hear that shit?
Can't take it. Okay, no, I can't sing.
But and if you're creeping, please don't let it show. Oh, baby. You're offbeat.
I don't
That offbeat snap will smell, by the way.
I don't have a singing career. But it's true. So
Okay, so here's my take on it.
are you playing stupid? Or do you want to know?
I believe that a lot of people believe that all men cheat. Men and women. Because I've heard men say it, I've heard women say it.
Right. They do not believe in a monogamous relationship.
No. I'm saying a lot of people believe that all men cheat.
Right.
Not women.
Okay.
They believe that women don't cheat as much because
Who thinks
women, a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people believe that women cheat less.
Okay.
But men, it's like it's a inevitable thing that they cheat. And I actually did talk about this with my cousin on my previous podcast. And he pretty much, I mean, he said no. But I think his girlfriend was watching, so, that's why he was...
Right, which is cool about your polls, that you can actually see who said yes and who said no.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you can.
I can't see who said what.
On Instagram, you can go on your poll.
No, you could say who saw it, but you can't see what they answered.
Oh.
So it's anonymous, which is
okay.
good, because if they knew that I could see it, then they're not going to...
Yeah. We're not going to shout you guys out right now.
Right, exactly. But I do think that that's like a common... that's a belief that has been accepted. And because of that, it's kind of like, okay, well, if I accept that belief, if I believe that all men are going to cheat, then that means that my man is going to, at one point, cheat on me. Do I want to know about it, or do I not want to know about it? And, okay, if that was the case... I would want to know.
You would want to know.
I would want to know. And the reason why I would want to know is because I need to know who the fuck he's with. Is she clean? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because
so would you stay in a relationship?
Now he's not only fucking her, I'm fucking her.
Right, because you're with him and him with her, even though it's not at the same time.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I need to know.
Right.
I also need to know what kind of relationship they have. Now, with that being said, that was if I accept the belief that all men have to cheat.
Right.
I don't believe that, though.
You don't believe that all men have to cheat?
I don't believe all men cheat. I don't.
We had a moment of silence.
Moment of silence. Rest in peace to the men that cheat, because I will fucking kill you.
Well, and I mean, you know what though? I'm gonna be honest with you. And I know that there's a lot of men listening, but I think that there are a large percentage of men that are okay with not knowing, but subconsciously knowing.
Well, what you don't know can't hurt you.
Right.
Ojos que no ven, corazón que no siente.
Hey! See, guys, I told you she spoke Spanish.
True. True.
Because in a really weird, twisted way, I think that there's like some kind of fantasy of a man knowing that his girl can still get someone else.
That the woman is wanted.
That the woman's wanted and necessarily she's not. There is an if that she can cheat.
Have you ever had an experience where you cheated on a man?
Absolutely.
And he was like on you more after the fact? Do you think that that's something common?
I think it's very common. To be honest with you, I have cheated in a relationship or two, or maybe three.
Damn, no, you're such an Aquarius.
I'm such a fucking Aquarius. But you know what's funny? I always get caught.
Damn.
Because I'm such an Aquarius. But every time I've gotten caught, it's like they wanted me more.
Maybe that's why you keep cheating.
Maybe.
Because there was no consequence that was bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like,
yeah, I was
well,
never
shit, it
left
made
in the
him like
dust.
me more, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think? I don't think it's that he liked that I cheated. I think that he was more concerned as to why I cheated. So I feel like when he gave me a second opportunity, he came around being like, let me try to be the man that she needs me to be this time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it wasn't more like he was aroused.
It's kind of like what is that? Okay, so you got a sadist and you got a masochist. Which was the one that they like to get hurt?
Masochist.
A masochist. Okay, so it could be a little bit of masochism.
Right.
You know?
Perhaps. I mean, maybe in a really weird, twisted way. He'll probably
turns
never,
him on.
Yeah, he'll never admit that he
Yeah.
kind of liked the idea of me being in bed with someone else.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it was a challenge.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, all men love challenges to a certain degree. I think that there are men that would absolutely not tolerate their woman fucking somebody else.
Right.
But I mean, in relationships, I don't do that. You know, I feel like because when it's hard to explain.
Explain. You're good at this.
I'm a Scorpio, so we're like more of a loyal sign.
Right.
Like we're really like we're attached to the person that we're with.
You're loyal and you're very territorial.
But we have to be like all in the relationship.
Right.
If we're not all in, then we're going to do whatever we want.
Exactly.
But when you're all in invested to somebody, you're going to be all about that person. So that is a good and a bad thing. You will know if we're all in or not.
Right.
You know, by our actions. Like we can't even.
Yeah, you guys wear your heart on your sleeve. It's like either my whole heart's here or I'm not in.
Yeah, but it's not really on our sleeve. It's complicated because we're also very secretive.
Right.
So you won't even know which direction we're at. It's complicated.
Yeah. So how would I know that a Scorpio's completely in?
If you don't catch him cheating.
You will never catch a Scorpio cheating.
Of course you will.
No, Scorpios are too damn good. You'll catch an Aquarius.
No, you'll catch a
an
Scorpio.
Aries. You will never catch a Scorpio.
An Aquarius will never catch a Scorpio cheating because Aquariuses are not doing the due diligence to find.
Oh yeah, because we're just kind of doing our own thing.
But a Scorpio will fucking catch a Scorpio cheating.
Listen, I've been with
A Scorpio is gonna find anybody cheating.
Right.
Because a Scorpio is like on their shit. They work for the FBI.
Yeah, because your brain never shuts off. Your brain is
because
just
we're
like,
obsessive.
Yes.
So it's like 24/7 you're thinking about your partner. So that's where it all ties together, you know. So if 24/7 I'm thinking about my partner, I don't have time to think about anybody else. So I'm not interested in anybody else. You know, so that's why you're loyal. But, you know, but
you're very Scorpios are very tunnel vision then in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you cheat on a Scorpio will cheat back.
Ooh, he'll bite back.
Absolutely. Well, they'll either cheat back or they'll leave you for someone else to be like, all right, well, you cheated.
And they're revengeful?
They're super vengeful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where it becomes complicated with a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Like they'll do it out of spite.
So a Scorpio will only cheat if they were cheated on?
Or if they weren't all in.
Yeah.
So like if they were hurt, maybe they might cheat.
Yeah. You see, Aquarius is...
But the vengeance might not be cheating. The vengeance might, like, they're gonna figure out what's gonna hurt you the most.
Right.
So if cheating is what hurts you the most, they'll do that. But like for me, I know personally, cheating's not going to hurt the most. What's going to hurt you the most is you knowing that you lost a good woman.
Right.
And you can never have her back.
Yeah.
So I'll be like frolicking down the street like, hey, you ain't never going to get a picture there. You ain't never ever going to get picked, man.
But it's true. And that's why the Scorpio, literally, they say it hits you where it hurts the most with the tail. It's right through the heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I don't believe that all men can use it. And I'm sick of hearing people giving men the excuse that all men cheat. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, because at the end, it's a cop-out. It's a cop-out to let you to accept something that you normally wouldn't accept, just to say that, hey, it's in my natural anatomy.
Right, exactly.
Because guess what,
Because
guys?
you're fucking weak.
Women have the same anatomy, if not more.
It depends on what age.
I mean...
But yeah, women in their 30s is, like, mirrored to a man in his 20s.
Yeah.
So, like, and this is where my perspective changed as I got older. Because I think that I did go through a period of time where I was considering Torre Hart's mentality.
Okay.
Where
possibly be okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went through a brief period of time, I would say like a good 2 years, where I was like, you know what, it makes sense.
So her mentality, just to repeat for those of you that didn't understand, is basically she's willing to be in a relationship where her man sleeps with someone else as long as he provides for her. And
No, as long as he's upfront about it.
And she did say
she added that spin on it, yeah. But mine was more so, like, provide as far as like your responsibilities in the relationship, like as long as that doesn't falter.
Right.
Because the minute, you're giving more attention to somebody else, like it can't take away from anything that you're giving me.
Right. So attention, she's okay with time, basically just the physical aspect of him, having sex with someone else. If you need
to cheat and I'm not in town, I'm nowhere near, like, you better fucking tell me. Because I don't want to find out from somebody else.
Got it.
I don't want my girl to have seen you in the club with somebody else and I'm not prepared.
And at that point, it's not like it's an emotional relationship that he's sharing with someone else. It's just...
And that's my thing, too. I need to make sure that it's completely platonic.
Okay.
Or completely sexual. As opposed
Physical.
to you guys are on the phone talking and developing a bond. I'm not cool with that. I feel like if you're developing a bond with somebody else, then why are you with me?
I think that's where that's the risk you take when cheating, though. Because at what point can it, there's a big difference between, hey, she was out of town and I, on one drunken night, I left the bar and there's this one chick there and, it happened. Okay. But after a while, I mean, let's face it, that friction, skin on skin, we're human.
We connect.
We connect.
Naturally.
So once that physical aspect keeps connecting, especially if it's the same side chick, you're going to get feelings for her.
Yeah.
So you run that risk.
It depends, yeah. If you're speaking,
right?
Like, actually getting to know each other, then yeah, absolutely. Feelings can develop, depending on if you have something to connect about. Because some personalities don't also mesh, some personalities clash.
But then there's also a lot of people that do admit that they can't have sex with someone if there's not some other type of connection.
Right. And
it can't just be a cold.
Yeah. And that, I think that I'm attracted to a man that is like that.
Right.
I'm attracted to a man that... Yeah, I'm very mental. Sex is very mental for me as well. So... chances are, the man that I'm with is like that. He can't really just have sex with some hoe.
Right.
So this is why my mentality has recently changed. And I believe that no longer am I able to be in a relationship where I'm able to give him a pass.
Right.
I don't think that's...
Because you
I
believe
don't
that
think
there's
it's
an
gonna fly.
emotional aspect of it.
There will be emotional aspect about it.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think it should be allowed.
I've actually, it's funny because I used to talk to my ex about this all the time. I used to ask him, you know, hey, when you were single, you know, would you go to a lot of strip clubs? And he was like, I'd go to strip clubs, but I never took a girl home. And I asked him why, or if, you know, if he'd sleep around. He admitted it to me. He's like, no matter how many parties I went to, no matter, you know, how many hoes were around with me and my boys, I was never able to sleep with the girls because no matter how beautiful or how mouth-watering she was, if I didn't have some kind of connection with her, I couldn't sleep with her. Mm-hmm. So he openly admitted that to me when we were getting to know each other. Right. And I feel like there are a lot of men that will admit that. So if you're willing to admit... I think
that's a maturity thing too. You're going to find older men start feeling that way, whereas a guy in his 20s...
he's young. He was young. He's
in his 20s?
He was 26. No, he was 25 and he admitted that to me.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. That's really... mature.
Yeah, he was 25 and he admitted. So I know already from the getting into this relationship that he's a guy that if he does cheat, it's never going to be a physical thing. It has to be more than physical.
Right.
Which brings us back to the topic.
You see, you're never going to get over that though.
Exactly.
You're always going to be like, you know, watching your back every 2 seconds because, I mean, shit, if he had sex with somebody, that means there was something there.
Yeah.
So he just ratted himself out.
Yeah, from the get-go.
And right now, at this point in my life, I feel like at my age, I am okay with the possibility of being single, you know, growing old and not having a partner. It's okay if that happens, you know. Yeah. If it doesn't happen, great. But if it does, I mean, I'm mentally prepared to be able to go through life alone. So, with that being said, that means if I'm in a relationship and I find out that the man cheats and has a second girlfriend or whatever, I'm leaving.
Yeah, you're out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
And this is just something that I've learned.
And I agree. You need to put your standards no matter what, no matter how much someone tells you, listen, I'm a man, or I need to have needs. You know, keep your standards high and don't bend.
Unless I have some kind of like physical issue where I can't fulfill my man, you know, but that's not a problem.
Right.
You know? So
you have the whole package, baby. So you are good.
If it was a problem and I knew I was lacking something, then by all means, you know, like I might give you a hall pass.
It's really nice what you just said as far as like being at this point you're okay with growing old alone and not having a significant other there just because you feel so fulfilled within yourself as a person, with your family, with your friends, and everything else you have going on in your life.
Right.
And it's really funny because I recently got off the phone with a friend of mine that moved to Dubai. And I've never been to Dubai, never been to that side of the world. But she had openly admitted to me what she was doing on that side of the world. Which was, she is openly high-end prostituting. In Dubai, which I thought she was opening a hair salon, but hey,
Dubai?
In Dubai.
Wait, you just found out about Dubai?
Well, I knew that she was moving to Dubai. I thought she was opening a hair salon. She openly admitted to me that there was no hair salon.
You thought she was opening up a hair salon in Dubai?
Right.
You know how expensive it is to open up a hair salon.
I've never been over there. I don't know anything about Dubai.
You have not heard about Dubai. This is the first time you've heard about Dubai.
No, I mean, I know that Dubai
like,
exists.
the secret's out
I know Dubai
for years now.
But as far as, like, I mean, you know, I was giving it... Listen, I'm an Aquarius. I give you the benefit of the doubt. Tui. Patut. Right, exactly. So she tells me she's going over there. So, you know, I caught up with her yesterday just because I've been home, you know, because of my sprain.
Oh, so she just came back from Dubai?
She's still in Dubai. I spoke to her yesterday.
Oh, you haven't seen her since she came back
Haven't seen her. She's doing super successful. I'm following her.
So you haven't smelled her yet?
I haven't smelled her. She's up on the gram. She's killing it. Openly admits to me what she's doing over there, which, you know, you could just think about.
For the viewers that are virgins or virgin ears, cover your ears. But basically, the secret's been out about Dubai that when women say that they're going to Dubai, chances are they're getting pooped on.
Right.
Boopy.
Golden showers,
all kinds of stuff. And the psychology to it is their culture is very conservative. Their women do not show skin. So when an American woman who is a fucking whore in their eyes on Instagram, and she's showing all kinds of skin and not respecting herself,
degrading.
They want to take her over to Dubai and give her what she deserves and treat her like she's a toilet because she's fucking trash.
Right, because to them, the American mentality, and this is, I'm not pointing fingers to anyone specific that's living in Dubai. Don't take this offensively, but it's the reality of what's going on.
Right.
There's high-end prostitution all over the world, but right now, Morocco, Dubai, Italy is huge.
Italy too?
Italy is Milan. Hear about that one. Milan is huge with high-end prostitution.
I knew about
right
sex
now.
trafficking
And Russia.
There. That's like big.
Yeah, in Russia, there's some of these
That's
girls
a little
that
bit more like taking them against their will, though. The Dubai thing.
No, like high-end prostitution, like not taken. No, like high-end. Hey, I'm gonna pay you $30,000 for a golden shower, and they're up for it. But anyway, going to
$30,000 to get pissed
on. Yep, that's what these girls are making.
I've heard $50,000 to get shitted on.
But anyway, I got off the phone and she was just telling me the amount of money that she was making, and I was like, wow, this is crazy, because girls don't even get paid that to like make an appearance at a club in Miami. So she was just comparing Miami to Morocco, right. And
Mel, I swear to God, if you tell me you're going to Dubai, I'm gonna fucking cut your
Girl, I've never been to Dubai. I don't think to ever going to Dubai. So, but she starts crying.
Listeners, if you see a picture of Mel in Dubai,
listen, I've never been to Dubai.
Just know.
I'm good.
She's
but
not
she tells me,
it.
she starts crying, and she tells me that she wants to get married. And I'm like, listen, this girl is like bathing in cash. When I tell you, like, her bed, she could just... Her mattress is just covered in cash, and I'm talking about Arab money. And this girl is crying that she wants to get married, that she wants to, leave this lifestyle, and that she doesn't want to grow old alone.
Oh.
So I embrace you in what you said, because at this point, it's like you have that respect, Chris, that a lot of these girls don't have, that are willing to go over there to just, get
anything
filthy rich and do anything for money, but... in reality, they know that that's going to run out, and they're literally here crying, scared as to, hey, can I ever have a relationship? I want to be loved.
Here's the thing: it's never too late to change your perspective,
right?
And I'm not sitting here acting like I'm holier than thou or better than anybody. I'm just saying that at this point in my life, this is how I feel. Was I always this secure? No. The hell no.
Right.
But I grew and I matured and I learned, and I feel like the best way to have confidence in yourself is to do things for yourself and to show yourself that you can make it without the help of anybody else. And I
amen to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did that. I fell into that situation where I had to like figure it out.
Right.
And I figured it out in a way that was legal and clean.
Right.
So I know I can do it, and that boosted my confidence. So from then on, it was kind of like, you can't fucking tell me shit, because I know at the end of the day, I got me.
Right.
So any women that are listening out there, I'm not bashing, people that choose lifestyles that are, quick money or whatever, because I understand
the psychology behind it.
It's attractive when you're in a state of desperation, and this is where I will always advocate for my women out there, because women that are desperate make decisions that are fucking stupid.
Right. Well, anyone that's put up against a wall will make desperate decisions.
Mm-hmm. Right, but that's not you. That's not you, baby girl. So you got to snap out of it, and you got to show yourself that you could do it without that. And the minute you prove to yourself that you can do it without having to take these degrading trips, then your whole mentality will change. You will not feel like you have to get married, or you have to put up with bullshit, or you have to, because it's like, that you don't have to.
Right.
At the end of the day, you're going to be okay. You don't need a man. And, that's the feminist in me talking, because I feel like a lot of women are, it's kind of like you're feminist whenever you feel like it.
Right.
It's like, I'm
whenever
feminist
you can
because
apply it.
I want to show off my body, and I want to be able to do whatever the fuck that I want to do, but I want to get married because I want a man to take care of me. No, that's not how it works. Like,
but it's more, and it goes back to what we were saying as far as Avicii. Like, that's a form of trying to find something to fulfill you. You know,
Right, a vice.
a vice.
Or an easy way out. I mean,
But you could always just light up a blunt and just get high.
I was gonna clean my room,
But
then
I
I
got
got
high.
high. We were gonna make this podcast longer, but then we got high. Happy 420, everybody. Ooh.
420 2018, guys. I want to know what everyone's going to be doing today.
What?
DM us on our next podcast and let us know what you did on 420 because you got high. Then I got high.
Shit, my room's a mess.
Girl, my house, I have so much to fix in this place. But
why, man?
I don't know
Why,
why.
man?
Hey.
Cause I got high. Cause I got high. Cause I got high.
Hey.
Da, 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 da.
Go to class before I got high. Come on.
Shit
I could have
happens.
cheated and I could have passed.
Hey.
But I got high.
He got high, Kristen.
Hey,
Tapping the next semester, and I know why.
why, man?
Why?
Hey, cause I got high.
There you go.
Because I got high.
Hey.
Because I got high. Go to the next.
Go to the
Happy
next.
420, everybody. We hope that you enjoy your night. Thanks for rocking it out with us on our podcast.
See you next
Assorted
time.
Flavors.
See
See
you
you next
next
time. And don't
time.
get too high. By the way, I don't even get high, but I'm just posing like that because I'm Jamaican.
Yeah, I probably don't either.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.